What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from dopetechdaily.com, and today I'm going to close out my best of series for 2017. So today I want to talk about the worst trends in smartphones in 2017. Now the very first trend is one that a lot of people either are going to be on one side or the other with, and that is the death of the removable battery. Now all the phones in front of me, I've got just a selection of phones from 2017. This isn't all my phones. Essential phone, OnePlus 5, T, the LG V30, we've got the Pixel 2 XL here, we've got the iPhone 10, we've got the Galaxy Note 8. All these phones have one thing in common: they do not have a removable battery. Now the last flagship, major Android flagship that had a removable battery was the LG V20. That was released back in 2016, and I think it's safe to say that the removable battery is now gone. Now the removable battery itself being gone is not the biggest problem. The bigger problem is that manufacturers continue to put smaller and smaller batteries to make the flagships thinner and thinner. If they would just put larger batteries inside the flagships, I wouldn't really care if the battery was removable. But it's safe to say this trend is definitely gone, and it seems like we're going to keep getting smaller and smaller batteries as manufacturers try to squeeze more battery life out of more efficient chips, out of more efficient software, etc. I would just like to see bigger batteries come back in a big way. The next thing, the number 4 thing that I think was a negative trend, is the continuing death of the headphone jack. So not all of these phones are missing the headphone jack, but a lot of them are. The Essential phone, no headphone jack. The iPhone 10, of course, no headphone jack, as Apple was the one that really sort of kicked this trend off in the biggest way last year. I know Motorola did it first, but Apple's the one that started getting everyone on board. And of course, the big one this year in the Android space is the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. No headphone jack on your Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL. Now, a lot of Android manufacturers still have kept the headphone jack. For instance, LG has kept the headphone jack on the V30 here. You do have a headphone jack on your OnePlus 5T. And of course, Samsung has also kept it on the Galaxy Note 8. Now, I am a little concerned, though, that going into 2018, we're going to continue seeing the death of the headphone jack, and we might see some bigger manufacturers, like Samsung, for instance, ditch the headphone jack eventually. I certainly hope not. I think LG is the most likely to stick around because they are very, very big on audio in their phones. They always put those quad DACs in their phones. So I'm hoping the LG G7 and the V40 or whatever they call it will have a headphone jack. But I am a little concerned that more manufacturers are going to start going with no headphone jack because Google started doing that this year in the Pixel phones. Now, not having the headphone jack wouldn't be a problem if they were removing it for good reasons, but there really isn't a great reason at this point because USB Type-C headphones are really not that ubiquitous, and also Bluetooth solutions aren't the best in the world. I actually wrote a really long piece about the death of the headphone jack over on gadgethacks.com. I'll link that piece below if you guys want to check it out. The third thing, which this one is going to be a little controversial, the third thing is the 18:9 aspect ratio and the overall bezel-less design that we've seen emerge in 2017. Now, I know a lot of people like the extra tall aspect ratio phones. It certainly looks very slick, makes the phone look prettier. But you do get some negative side effects from that, such as not being able to watch 16:9 media, which is still the most ubiquitous format in its native format. And also, because the bezel is being pushed further and further to the sides, the phones are just a little bit harder to hold in landscape mode, in my opinion. So I personally prefer some implementation like the Essential phone or the iPhone 10. I guess it's really a personal preference thing. The Essential phone is actually the best looking implementation of all of the bezel-less designs. The iPhone 10 notch is just a little bit too big for me. I would hope that if we continue to push towards this sort of bezel-less future in 2018, that more people take a look at designing things in the way that Essential did. These extra tall ones are just not my thing. I know a lot of people will probably disagree. The next thing are dual cameras. And the reason why dual cameras, I think, is a negative trend is because a lot of phone manufacturers in 2017 just decided to throw a dual camera on their camera setup and call it a day. They didn't really try to innovate in any way at all. And in fact, the best camera, in my opinion, in the Google Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL does not have a dual camera. They stuck with a single camera setup, and they went through and innovated to improve their picture quality through software. So a lot of companies like OnePlus, LG, of course, has been doing it for a while, the Galaxy Note 8, and of course the iPhone 10. They all have these dual cameras, but not all of them really improve the picture quality year over their previous flagships. Now, I believe the iPhone did do a great job, but there's also a lot of software going into some of the things they're doing with their pictures as well. So I really think the future for smartphone cameras is definitely in software and trying to innovate in software. And I think it was a downside this year in 2017 that dual cameras could be this new thing, sort of a buzzword. People could just throw a dual camera in there, not think about improving their main sensor, and not think about improving the software. And we ended up with pretty much overall the same picture quality that we saw in 2016. Not a huge step up from the Galaxy S7 to the Galaxy S8 or the Galaxy Note 7 to the Galaxy Note 8, for instance. And then the final thing, the most annoying thing by far, in my opinion, in 2017 is the emergence of a very, very, very expensive flagship category. Now, right here, I've got the Pixel 2 XL, the iPhone 10, and the Galaxy Note 8. These are phones that cost over $1,000 when you actually add in taxes. And for the base model or for, an upgraded model on the Pixel 2 XL, 128 gigs. That's crazy expensive, and these flagships are only going to get more expensive as customers are willing to purchase these phones. If we keep purchasing them at these prices, we're going to go up to $1,100, $1,200, $1,300, and eventually you're going to pay more for your phone than you are for your laptop. Now, whether or not that's worth it is another debate. There are a lot of great mid-range phones out there, but I would like to see the prices on these upper-tier flagships come back down a little bit. Hopefully in 2017, with more competition from companies like Huawei and Xiaomi entering the US market, we'll see this adjust a little bit and come back down below $1,000. All right, guys, so that's my look at the 5 most annoying smartphone trends in 2017 to me. I know a lot of them are controversial. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments below. You can also find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. Find me at gadgethacks.com, where I'm writing about Android all the time. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification icon so I can make future videos like this. I appreciate you guys checking it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.